Hi, this is the fifth in the series of the coronavirus quarantine videos where I talk to you about surviving the coronavirus. Although this one, everything I'm going to say to you is the same during the coronavirus as it is any other time when it comes to responding to abuse. There really is nothing different about it. So the first one is I want you to know never do anything that would make you more unsafe. If you're dealing with a volatile person, if you're dealing with somebody who's physically violent that's willing to harm you, be very, very careful how you respond. Don't do anything that would escalate it, that would put you in physical danger. So if you're dealing with somebody who is emotionally and verbally abusive, where there's manipulation and there's treating you in a way that's disregarding who you are and disregarding how you feel and doesn't care about your rights and is doing things like ordering you and minimizing you and discounting you and ridiculing you and is perpetually hostily angry towards you, and all of those things, then I would say that is an emotionally and verbally abusive relationship. So the first thing that you can say, and again, only if it's safe and if it doesn't escalate and it helps you to stop the abusive interaction. And it is what we refer to as therapeutic bewilderment. And it basically goes like this. And I spoke with a group of women who had been in very abusive relationships where there was a lot of power and control. And we talked about different things that you could use in this, and they came up with their favorite word, which was, wow. Wow, I can't believe that you just blank. I can't believe that you just spoke to me like a child. Wow, I can't believe that you just ordered me to do something. Wow, I can't believe that you just told me that what I accomplished at work was worth nothing. Wow. And just go, whatever it is, fill in the blank. Wow, I can't believe that you just talked to me like that in front of the kids. Wow. Wow, I can't believe that you just yelled at me in front of everyone at the party. Wow. And it's just basically, and that's it. And if the person says something else to you again, you say the same thing. Wow, I can't believe that you just minimized that. Wow, I can't believe that you just told me you don't care how I feel. Wow, that is one of the first things that you can do. And the neat thing about that is it basically, whether the person believes you, and the intention is not to force the person to admit, yes, I'm abusive, because that's probably not going to happen. What it is to give you some of your power back and to give you some control in the situation where you can say, wow, you basically just did something to me that is crazy and out of this world and unbelievable and big and horrible, and I can't believe it. That gives you some of your power back. The second thing that you can do is you can say, stop ordering me. Stop putting me down. Stop making fun of me. Stop undermining me. Stop discounting me. And you say it with firmness and you repeat it if the person continues. Now, what if the person laughs at you and says, oh, mimics you? Stop, stop, stop ordering me. Stop undermining me. Then you basically say back to that person again, stop ridiculing me, because that person is ridiculing you. Stop mocking me. And at any point in that conversation, when you say that, you can leave. You can get up, you can walk out of the room, you can walk out of the house. If the person follows you, you can basically say, stop following me. Stop ridiculing me. Stop putting me down. Stop discounting me. Discounting is when somebody says, I don't care about your feelings. I don't care how that affected you. I don't care if that hurt you. I don't care if you're upset. So basically, then you say to the person, stop discounting me. Now, are you going to live like this forever? I hope not, because that's not a great way to live. This is a way, for one thing, when you're in an abusive relationship, you got to get to the point where you are convinced that it truly is an abusive relationship and that it is not okay. So what this helps you do is keep your focus on what's going on and that it truly isn't okay. You are basically saying out loud with your voice, with your power, owning your voice and saying, I am not okay with this. This is wrong. This is bad. And while you're saying it, you're recognizing, yes, this is bad. Yes, this is not okay. All right. The other thing you can do is physically leave. Like I said, you can leave the house, you can leave the room, you can go spend the night somewhere. You can go stay somewhere else in the coronavirus quarantine if you have a safe place to be, a person that you can stay with. You know, there are options. A friend of mine made a workshop out in the backyard where she could go by herself. I mean, these are great things. And I look at these and sometimes there are very creative options you can have, but ultimately abuse is not okay. The other thing that you can do is just discontinue the conversation. I'm not going to talk to you when you talk to me this way. I'm not going to do it. Conversation over. Now, for some abusers, that's good. They like that. You're leaving them alone. So, but you're still owning your power by saying, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to continue the conversation. So even if that is something that you think the abuser might want, you are the one ending it. You are the one owning your power. You're pulling it back and you're saying, I'm choosing to end this conversation. I'm done. Okay. Again, some of this is literally convincing yourself, because when you're in an abusive relationship, often you're confused about whether or not it's abusive, and you've got to get to the point where you're thoroughly convinced. So always do not escalate. Whatever, if this stuff that I'm telling you escalates, then don't do it. Then just stop talking, go write in your journal, go call somebody to get validated, go find something else to do, reach out, get help, you know, whatever it is. If it's going to escalate it, then don't say these things. But if you can and it won't escalate, then you can own your power by doing those things. The other thing you can do is sit back and watch and recognize and use this time of being, you know, shut in a situation with somebody that can be abusive, and you see this person being abusive. You've got lots of examples in a 24-hour period where you can actually get your journal, write them down, what was done, what was said, what you did, what the person responded to. So you have this record that you can go over and say, is this an abusive relationship or is this not an abusive relationship? So this is an opportunity for you to get like a lot of examples of somebody who's abusive, which will be really good for you. The other thing is that you can call 911 if you have physical violence, because you have that right to do that. If you need to leave the house safely and you can't, you can call 911 and the police will come and stay while you get your things to leave. If you're in a domestic violence, physical violence situation, or even severely verbal or emotionally abusive where you need to leave, keep a bag in your car, keep your essentials, your documents, some money, put it in your car so that if you have to leave, you can quickly leave. Have a phone number of somebody you can call, maybe a person who says you can stay at my house if you ever need to, and keep that private. Don't let your abuser know that that's where you're going. So the other thing that you can do that's very, very important is to not accept the abuser's blame. Abusers blame you for the abuse. If only you hadn't said that, I wouldn't have gotten so mad. If only you had done what I asked you to do, I wouldn't have gotten so mad. If only you hadn't talked to me that way, I wouldn't have gotten so mad. If only you didn't do something to make me angry, I wouldn't have gotten angry. No. You don't cause the abuse. You don't cause a person to be abusive to you. Do not accept that you are responsible for it. Now, you are responsible for your actions, so do what's right. Don't do things that purposefully cause the abuser to get angry or upset. But you are not responsible for the fact that the person chooses to be abusive. That is a personal choice. It's not something you cause. The next thing is, do not waste your time explaining to the abuser what it feels like to you and why it isn't okay and what you meant and how you didn't mean to cook dinner late and you didn't mean to forget to do what he or she asked you to do and how you didn't mean to say what you said disrespectfully and how you didn't mean. Don't explain yourself. And why? Because the abuser doesn't care. The abuser does not care about what you meant and what you intended and what you feel and what you think. You are wasting your time. And as long as you believe the lie, that you can explain yourself someday, some way, perfectly, so the abuser will understand your true motives, your true intent, your true feelings, and then everything will be okay. As long as you believe that lie, you will continue to stay, you will continue to take it, you will continue to try, you will continue to try to explain it a little better, a little clearer, and just wait for that perfect example when that light is going to go on in the abuser's head to think, oh, that's right, I shouldn't treat him or her that way. It's not going to happen. It doesn't happen by you explaining yourself. If it's ever going to happen, the way it will happen is by you setting boundaries and saying, I will not continue with the abuse, get help, get to the point where you recognize that you're abusive, admit that you do not have a right to be abusive, change your belief system, and work on not being abusive consistently with a lot of effort and admitting that that behavior has not been okay. It doesn't happen by you explaining yourself. The abuser doesn't want to understand. When the abuser tries to understand you, if he or she did, the abuser would be saying, oh, you're equal to me. You're the same. We need to try to have mutual understanding. We need mutual power. We need mutual cooperation. We need mutual respect. That is against the abuser's belief system. The abuser does not see you as one who has equal rights, equal demand for respect, equal power, equal control in the relationship. So to understand you would be admitting, oh, we're the same. This is mutuality. The abuser does not have goodwill, does not have mutuality, will not be looking for that. So recognize the fact that your explanations are wasted time. Instead, work on changing your own thoughts and getting yourself to the point where you know that you know that you know that the abuse is abuse, the abuse is not okay, that you do not cause the abuse, and you do not have to live with the abuse. So I'm going to tell you, recognize it, see it, take your power back, whatever way that is, as long as it's safe, and get to the point where you clearly see that abusive behavior is not good for you, is not okay, and that no one has the right to abuse you under any circumstances. Okay, so I will see you again next time. And if you have questions, please feel free to write to me at Karla, K-A-R-L-A, at changemyrelationship.com, and check out my website, changemyrelationship.com, for my books, for my videos, for my studies, for all kinds of resources that you can get that will help you in difficult relationships. Okay, I'll see you again next time.